Hey everybody, Bob here and welcome to another Making Stuff video. Today I am going to be working on the mostly printed CNC machine, and I would love to hook a router or a spindle up to it and start cutting some stuff, but my spindle that I have ordered is somewhere in the mail between here and China, and I have no idea when it's going to arrive. So in the meantime, I figured I would borrow a 3-watt laser from a buddy of mine and hook it up and see what I could do with it. So I'm using the Rambo 1.4 board to drive my MPCNC machine, and I've got to have a way to turn the laser on and off. So what most people are doing is they're using the fan, the part fan, which would be fan 0 on this board, and they use that to turn the laser on and off. Well, the problem I have got is that the TTL signal for the laser is 5 volts and the fan on this board is 12 volts. So what I've got to do is go into the firmware, which I've already done, and change a pin setting so that it uses a different pin, which would be a 5-volt pin that will turn the laser on and off with the correct voltage. So I've done that, and I'm having an issue. When the part fan is turned on, the board is sending the correct signal to the laser, but when it's turned off, it kind of sends a little haywire signal, which just keeps the laser on. So when I'm driving the laser through this board, it's always on. There's no way to turn it off through the program. So on the forums, most of the people there that I've seen have been using the Ramps board, not a Rambo board, which the Ramps board I believe is an older board. And I don't know if this board just has an issue or if I did something wrong in the firmware, or if I just got to do something different with this board. So I've got to investigate that. So what I'm going to do is just manually turn the laser on and off. So if you know anything about these boards, if you're watching and you know anything about the Rambo board, how to get this laser to work, please leave a comment on this video. So here's the laser all mounted in the MPCNC, and I've got it mounted in there with these spindle mounts that I printed out for the spindle that should be arriving in the mail, and I downloaded these on Thingiverse, and I decided it would be easier just to print a little 52mm adapter that would hold the laser, which is what this blue piece is here, rather than trying to design a whole new mount for it. So the laser is all wired up, but since I'm having some issues with the Rambo board sending the right TTL signal to the laser to turn it on and off, what I've done is I've sent a 5-volt signal to the driver, which means it's on all the time, and I'm just going to manually turn the power on and off on the laser when it switches in between cuts. So I'm going to try a crown test now with this, and let's just see what we can do with it. And just one quick note, when you're messing with these lasers, you always want to wear your safety glasses. All right, so I ran a couple of tests here. This was the first one, and you can see here on the bottom there's a few little places where it didn't quite work right, and along here and then over here you can see that it just didn't make a complete burn in that wood for some reason. So I slowed the machine down and did a second test, and that worked much better. The only really imperfections you can see are these little dots, and that's just where I was manually turning the laser on and off, and I was a little bit slow, but for the most part that turned out pretty well. So I continued to work with the Rambo board and the laser off camera, and I was never able to get it to work. The laser just seemed to always be on, and I even hooked a voltage divider up to it to bring the voltage from 12 volts down to 5 on the fan port. And on the oscilloscope, everything seemed to work fine, but when you hook the laser up to it, it just always stayed on. So I got to thinking, and when the buddy of mine handed me that laser, he told me, well, all you have to do is hook 12 volts up to it and it comes on. So I'm thinking that maybe this isn't the right laser for this project. If anybody has run into this problem before and you found a fix for it, just please leave a comment in the video. If you like the video, please give me that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe so that you don't miss any upcoming Making Stuff videos. And thanks for watching.